Hey, Dave Kopf, editor of HME Business, and I'm here at day 2 of MedTrade East at the Brightree booth, and I'm here talking with Nupura Kolwalkar Rana. She's the Chief Product Officer of Brightree. Nupura, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I am fine. We are picking up from Matt Mellott's interview, where he talked about sort of the vision for connected care and how providers are going to fit into this and why they need to fit into this. And now I'm going to talk to you a bit about the how we get there. You know, the details of the plan. So let's talk about that a little bit. What is what are the building blocks that are going to go into creating customer care or creating connected care rather in the HME world?
So before we talk about the building blocks, let me take a step back and talk about why we should have building blocks to support connected care.
Okay.
We have people in the mix who are serving people, and there is this whole experience that we're trying to create when a patient is served by a healthcare provider. There is a ton of different disjointed things that the HME has to do.
Okay.
The experience can drive the patients to feel very disconnected with their healthcare provider.
Yeah.
So when you look at the patient experience and how it is highly dependent on the employees of the HME, the strategy that we're moving towards and the vision we have is in order to connect all of these different stakeholders in the ecosystem, we've got to remove the friction from every stakeholder's experience, whether it's patient experience, whether it's employee experience, or it's HME business owner experience.
Okay.
All our strategy, which is informed by 4 points and 4 building blocks, is focused on ensuring that we can create the best experience that drives productivity, is informed by data, and enables HMEs to connect across the board. So let's talk about those 4 blocks.
Yeah.
First one, centered around the patient.
Okay.
Every single thing we do in our systems across the entire portfolio, we're always thinking, what if this removes that friction from the patient experience? Yes, we will have patient-facing solutions that our customers can use, but even when we take a step back and say, what are the employees doing every day that drives better patient experience, brings us to point number 2. Point number 2 of our strategy and the second building block is business efficiency while thinking about that employee experience.
Okay, yeah, and that's an important one, right?
It's one of the most important ones. Hey, listen, we're in the era of great resignation. We've got to think about these employees.
Yeah.
The third one is if we cannot use the data and the trends that these HMEs are showing, is it 11 minutes per order? Is it 4 minutes per order? Right? There is data being collected every single day. How do you take the data from their history and use that as leading indicators to drive the business better, to make the patient's experience even more cohesive?
Okay.
That's our third building block, data-driven workflows and solutions. And last, but probably the most important building block, is connecting the HME to all of the other constituents that they have to connect to inside of the healthcare ecosystem, whether it's the EHRs of their physicians, or it's FP&A solutions to manage their business better, or to a warehouse management solution, or to their distributor.
Gotcha. And so it sounds very, Matt used a word like transparent, and it sounds like this is sort of very orchestrated and happening in the background. Is that a fair way to characterize it?
That's absolutely the right way to characterize it. Here are a few reasons why. To bring transparency back out to the process, right, to the stakeholders, to the patients, we need to ensure every system is talking to every other system, not just within Brightree, but in the larger health ecosystem, because the patient is experiencing multitudes of different folks and providers serving them.
Gotcha.
HME being one.
Okay.
Right? So transparency needs to be automated, orchestrated, and we cannot have the employees thinking, how can I make this specific thing more transparent to the patient? The system will take care of it.
Yeah,
Got
it's
it?
yeah, it's they shouldn't have to be orchestrating the system. The system should be orchestrating
the
itself.
work.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
you got it.
Okay, so now a thing popped in my head, and that's talking about security and connected care. And this is something, this is another component that we've actually talked to you guys about, but maybe we could talk about that a little bit for this interview. This is a secure environment as well, and it's something you guys have been thinking about quite a bit.
Listen, if you're serving a healthcare provider, we're thinking security, we're breathing security, we're living security.
Yeah.
If we cannot ensure that the patient feels safe interacting with the HME, there will be no digital trust. So every single thing we bring to our HME customers, we absolutely ensure it's within the security framework. We have very rigid security practices. We ensure we treat PHI data with utmost sincerity and commitment, with all the security guardrails that need to be in there. And I'm sure you've talked to Jerry, our CTO, who will go ad nauseum about the security practices we have in place. We absolutely bring all our communication back to the patient under the HIPAA certification guidelines. Great question, and that is something that we breathe every day.
And so it wouldn't be a trade show if I didn't talk about product. So, maybe you can give a little sneak peek or some hints over the next several months or the next year or whatever. What can Brightree customers expect to see in the way of product releases or integrations that will help get them along and this path and add those 4 building blocks that you mentioned?
Yeah, no, that's my favorite topic at the trade show.
Yeah, right.
Let's talk about patient experience. We're bringing out solutions and other feature enhancements to our product between Patient Hub and our recent ResMed acquisition, Citus, to serve the patient, enable our HME customers to develop a digital trust with the patient, engage the patient in a digital relationship, driving higher patient loyalty. And you know what? An app is not even a necessity for that relationship.
Okay.
So not burdening the patient to download an app and still developing a digital trust. So more to come on that.
Okay.
And the other one that I like to always highlight is interlocking our solutions. For the friction to go out of the process, our solutions have to work together, especially in the resupply space.
Okay.
So look for resupply interlock in the next 12 to 18 months. It's coming out. Right from the referral experience all the way to patient experience.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's probably like the best proving ground is sleep with resupply and everything else.
Absolutely.
There you go. Okay. All right. So I'm going to close with a question that's similar to what I asked for Matt to describe, and that is, what do you see the sort of, with all these pieces starting to fall into place, how would you describe this connected care landscape or care that providers are going to find themselves in the coming months? What's your picture that you paint?
So I'm a big Amazon shopper, David.
Okay.
Are you an Amazon shopper?
Yes, I am.
Have you shopped on Amazon?
Yes,
You get on the app, you put your order in, all the way through how to function. It's predictable, it's consistent, it's digital, and it's very empathetic as an experience.
Yeah.
That's what we want to bring to our customers that they can provide to their patients. We are customer obsessed. We want to enable our customers to be patient obsessed.
Okay.
If we could create an Amazon-like experience for those patients on behalf of our customers, I do feel we will transform our industry.
Okay.
On the other side are the referral relationships. Our HMEs are always learning how to develop strong referral loyalty. Taking the friction out of that, where the physician's excited to hand over the patient to HMEs, that would be another famous I would love to live in, and I want Brightree to be a part of it.
There you go. All right. Well, Nupura Kolwalkar Rana, the Chief Product Officer of Brightree, thank you very much.
Thank you, David.